everybody. Vegas Live with Ninon. They caught me off camera, and I'm on camera. Anyway, I have Jimmie Romero with me, the famous Jimmie Romero.
Oh, I wouldn't.
No, but it has to be Jimmie B. Romero.
Yes,
Otherwise, if you go to Facebook and you don't put the B in there, you're going to go to his dad.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he might be interesting. Is your dad? He has to be interesting because you're interesting.
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
You can be interesting.
You can. It's funny how we have this little thing about our parents, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
We like them sometimes, and then we don't like them, and then why did they do this, and then we regret what we say, and
Me and my dad
it's a mixed bag.
we have a lot of traits that are similar, and then a lot of things that are different.
Yeah.
So-
But that's because you've got part of your mum in there.
Yeah.
It can't all be the same,
Yeah.
right? I never quite understand any of it. So, Jimmie, what are you up to?
Oh, we're just in the middle of the Hellenbacks. We're just in the middle of our second LP, our second record, and the first one did great. We had a huge review in Vintage Guitar Magazine, and
Isn't that nice? I always like it when that happens.
Oh yeah, and what was great is because we're an independent, label, and everyone else was a major. That was in the.
And so the name of their band is the Hellenback, right?
The Hellenbacks, yes.
The Hellenbacks. Oh, the Hellenbacks. I got to get this. Not to hurl and back. It's the Hellenbacks.
Yes.
Let me get that straight.
Uh,
Okay. So your last LP you did was a big hit.
yes.
What makes an LP or a record you bring out a big hit? Is it promoting it? Is it what the message you're giving out there? What is it? Because
I believe, I come from a very old school, background, yeah, for sure. And I like it to where, when you put on a CD, or I still call them records, when you put on a record that, you can let it play from the beginning to the end. And there's a certain journey.
So everything's interesting.
Yeah,
in it.
so there's a certain feel.
Yeah, I can't stand these records you buy. I'm using your term now, but these record CDs, whatever anybody calls them anymore. That there's always like 2 or 3 songs that you really like, and then there's these 3 or 4 songs you can't stand.
Right.
Why do that? I mean, they're called fillers, and I know that. But at the same time,
well, it's just like part of it becomes it depends because like back in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, back then, you actually had real producers where there was an outside opinion that, that actually gave the musicians and artists well, that chord structure is okay. Why don't we try it this way? It gave them different avenues to go down. And
I love the word you just used. You said try. And the funny thing that is in producing and productions and everything, you don't ever put a singer or an actor or anybody down. They always turn around and say, well, let's try it this way, rather than say, well, that was really not very good. They'll never say it's not very good. They'll always come and sort of say, well, let's try it another way.
Right.
To keep the energy, and that's to keep the energy up of the performers.
Definitely, because you never want, performers, artists, they're emotional creatures. And you can hurt their...
Well, they're very emotional.
Yeah, so you can hurt their feelings and this and that, and you're not telling them that their idea isn't good. It's just like there's other options that could make it better.
And that's all it is. The same with an actor. You do a scene, and then they say, well, let's try it this way.
Right.
Because they want to see a different angle at it, and maybe you're better doing it this way than that way. And that same applies to music.
Right. Yes. And so, if you're not, if you're a producer on the project and you're not able to separate your personal attachment to the project, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose. You know what I mean? But it's always best to have an outside producer. And I think that as in the 90s came, 95, and people started producing their own stuff.
Yes.
And so therefore, the egos come in, and
I did it better than he did it.
a lot of times.
Why does he get all the play and I don't get the play?
Yeah, and a lot of times, an artist, a performer, or whatever will get married to a certain lyric, melody line, or even a guitar progression or a riff. They will get married to it and they'll latch onto it. And it's just you can't get married onto it.
And you've got to change. You've got to change.
I say it a million times. You can't fit the square peg in the round hole.
Oh no, it's very difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
fit.
And it's the same thing with songwriting.
Yeah.
It's just like if it's not flowing and if it's not coming out
If it's
organically.
not, if you're not getting that feeling
Yeah.
of flowing, or you know it's good, it's like when you hear a tune, you like it.
Right.
Same sort of thing. So you've got to get that tune. And I've often sort of thought, how do they get the lyrics and they get the tune, and how do they get so many different tunes? I mean, there's music for years and years and years, and they still come up with a different tune.
Right, considering that there's only 12 notes on, in general.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about. Is there?
Yeah.
I thought. I guess because no, but I think of a piano, 88 keys.
Well,
So you think this big
well,
piano.
basically that just repeats itself.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
but there you go. Because it does when you think about it.
There's different versions of it, and it's just like,
High and low. Yeah, you're right.
But I just, the way I think of it is just like, it's people's interpretation of all of those notes.
So, what is your ambition, or where do you want to go? What of your feeling of where you want to go now? What you really, over all these years, and to achieve? What is your goal? What is your achievement?
I mean, I would like. This is a totally new sound for me. Yeah, like I was signed to a major label back in 2003.
Who were you with?
I'd rather not say. It's a very big label.
Well, why not say it? Let the whole world know.
And then I was let go. But then I was writing for EMI. I've written for like Enrique Iglesias, Pink.
So now we're getting the message out. Now we're getting the names. You can
Yeah.
drop all the names you want out
Yeah,
there. Let people know who you are.
Yeah.
And why are singers and why are people so inhibited about letting people know who they are and what they do and who they've done work with?
Well, I mean,
Come on.
I still have friends at that. A friend. I have
A friend. I have a friend
left
too
at that
somewhere.
label that he's actually a VP at that label, and I
Yes.
just rather not put any.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But you can mention all the others.
Yeah,
So
for
who
sure.
else did you write for or sing for?
I wrote for them. Like I was a signed writer to EMI Publishing.
Oh,
So
really?
therefore, I would write music for all kinds of different artists.
Who were they?
Like I said, Enrique, Mark Anthony,
Now-
Pink. It
Any
goes
of
on.
these songs that you wrote, the lyrics you wrote, did they become number ones, number twos?
No. What happens is when you have a publishing deal, you submit your music,
Yeah.
and therefore the artist and whoever's producing the record,
They
picks.
choose what they want,
Yeah.
what they feel
Yeah.
they're able to sing the
Yeah.
best they can sing.
Yeah.
God, learning a whole lot here. I mean, this is amazing. So you're more of a writer, actually.
I'm a songwriter and a performer, yeah.
And a performer.
Yeah, but I also did acting too. I did a movie
It's
with.
an actor as well, isn't that? See, it all goes together.
Yeah.
Isn't that? I love it, though.
In 2008, I did a movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, really? It's famous. See?
No, I wouldn't say famous.
See, I'm
but-
going to say famous. I've got someone famous on my show. Go right, Jimmy. Jimmy, the famous one, absolutely. So, what is your goal now? Getting back to my original question.
Right, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
No. I like all that stuff. So, what is the original? Where are you?
Well, I mean, music is my first love.
Yes.
And
Is that singing or writing? Or both?
all of it?
All of that.
I love the whole process,
The whole
from
process.
from the beginning of starting it on a piano or an acoustic and then finishing it.
Okay, so you play the piano?
Yeah,
Can you sing?
I play
You
guitar,
you play the guitar, bass.
harmonica.
I just admire when you get a band and they're just so talented. It just seems to be you play one instrument and then you're over. I can even play one. I'm trying to play the piano and it's
well, I
like
started
got
on drums.
You started the
I started on drums at age 4.
Oh, your mother must have loved
Well,
that.
yeah.
Can you imagine?
My great grandmother came home with a drum set. My mother was really pleased.
You?
My great grandmother.
Your great
My great grandmother bought me a drum set.
and she said, "Thank you, Grandma."
Yeah.
Now we've got all the noise in the house.
Uh-huh.
So you've been playing since you were 4.
Yeah, I've been playing for a long, long time. I didn't start singing though, like seriously singing. I've always had pitch, and I could always sing.
Yes.
But I didn't start singing until I was 14. I got thrown
That's
in.
still very young. 14 is still extremely young.
Yeah,
So now we're going back to the question again.
Oh, yeah.
we keep getting
the
detailed.
final goal. The
keep
final
getting
goal.
detailed.
The final goal is just like music
Well, it's not
is
the
my first
final.
love.
It's not a final goal because you've got a long way to go yet. But where you want? So music is your true love.
Music is my true love.
So if-
That's why I went from music. I got dropped from my label and I was writing. Then I went into acting and I actually produced like 6 short films.
Oh, how
and then,
lovely.
And then I went back to music again because that's why I live in Vegas now. because I decided that I wanted to just play music. I just want to play music, and that's it.
Isn't that wonderful to be able to want to do what you really want to do and go for it?
Yeah, I just
And
think, you know,
since
life's
you've
too
made
short.
that decision, do you feel better within your body? Do you feel like free, like I've actually made a decision of what I want to do, and I'm going to continue doing it, and this is what I want?
Right. No, you're exactly. I mean, I couldn't. It's just like it's a freeing of the body that I don't.
Yes.
I couldn't describe it any better.
No, because you're free, totally free, and you know exactly where you're going and what you want to do.
Right.
Now, since you've got into this, is it producing the CDs or records or whatever you and I want to call them out there, or is it performing, or is it all the above?
It's all of the above, because there's a different. I guess you could say adrenaline rush, or just
It's adrenaline rush.
You know,
Believe me, that's what it is.
A nice little, you know, endorphin release that you get from different.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, I get really turned on when someone will post up on, like, you know, Facebook or Instagram or something like that, going like, I'm driving down the road and I'm listening to, you know, California Bound because I'm driving to California. You know,
Oh,
and then
you
like,
see?
you know, or, you know, that's you just like, oh, you know, it hits you straight
It
to your
hits you
heart.
straight that you
But then-
actually got where you wanted to go.
Yeah, but then when you're on stage and you're singing a certain lyric and you look and you connect with that
Person.
certain audience,
Yes.
oh man, it's so powerful.
What's
You
the
know.
largest audience you played in front of?
Oh geez, I don't know. Like our CD release at Vamp is pretty large.
Oh, so you played at Vamp.
Oh,
Played
we,
at Vamp,
we
see?
play at Vamp all the time.
Oh, they play at Vamp all the time.
Yeah. Well, I would say
What name do you go under, Jimmy?
the Hellenbacks.
To Hellenbacks, you go under that name.
Yeah.
So I want Hellenbacks, don't forget Vamp.
Yeah. And,
Check 'em out.
yeah, for sure. And so, but you know, I enjoyed all of it.
So you like all the adrenaline that comes, because I know I've been to the Vamp, and the Vamp is not the biggest place in the world, but it gets jammed in there, and
Yeah.
it has this incredible atmosphere and this incredible beat and noise and everything.
Right.
It's just absolutely amazing.
Right.
How can anybody reach you, Jimmy, if they want to book you or do I know?
The Hellenbacks@gmail.com, or they just go to the website, thehellenbacks.com.
Hellenbacks.com. Just remember that, Hellenbacks.com. Anywhere. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on everywhere, right?
Right.
Everybody is everywhere.
We're all over the rest.
Back to the social media. It's like a pack, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Isn't it
Thank
amazing?
you.
Thank you for coming on
Thank
the
you
show.
for having
Absolutely
me.
amazing.
Thank
We'll
you.
be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.